We've been seeing some really interesting developments in the market recently, and the deal is I don't think we can stay at these levels for very long. I do feel like we have something like a big move coming much sooner than we might expect. We have a lot of mixed signs at the moment, but I want to break down everything I'm seeing. The market is going absolutely crazy. Litecoin has just broken above resistance. Binance has done like 300%. I'm going to break it all down for you. I'm going to give you my thoughts, and let's get straight into it. Of course, we do have to start with Bitcoin, and this is the ascending triangle, which you saw me post in the 4Flies VIP and Gold channel earlier today, with the first link in the description down below. Completely free to see that post. And the deal is, with this little ascending triangle we've got forming, we have the lows getting higher, they keep on falling down to the support level, and then resistance being, around this area for this horizontal red line that I've placed. So you've heard me covering a lot of ascending triangles lately, namely on coins like Ethereum, and that is for a very good reason. But in this particular case, we are seeing it forming on Bitcoin. Now, to very quickly recap how these things work, we have pressure compressing to the upside, we have lows that are getting higher, and so there's a lot of buying support, and that support is getting a little bit more excited with each test of support, and of course, with that pressure compressing, it needs to give, it needs to explode, and so with the lows getting higher, we can expect that it explodes to the upside. Now, it also makes sense with the short-term trend that we're in, because if we do look at this little trend we've got, switch over to the 4-hour, we have been moving upwards in somewhat of an uptrend channel for a decent amount of time. Now, you heard my thoughts. I think this has kind of been invalidated because we dropped below this level, which would mean we've stopped setting higher lows, but this is a case of selectively choosing whichever evidence you want, and you kind of turn your eyes away from things that don't fit in with your narrative. Very, very common for TA, and in cases like this, it actually works. So that's why I'm showing you this particular example. So we are still in a short-term uptrend. I think the only thing that would invalidate this, as I told you, was if we go down to 3,500. However, we do have this ascending triangle here in a formation like this after having tested support very, very nicely twice now, yet we haven't really tested 39.50 resistance. Now, the closest we got was just around 39.05, depending on which exchange you're looking at, this of course being Coinbase. We haven't tested the upper resistance level yet, but like I said, we have tested this massive green box, so it could make sense that the next level we're ready to test is to the upside. Now, another really good point for why this could end up working very well is because there is also another CME futures gap, and I can't pull that up because I don't know how to do it right now, and I'm going to embarrass myself, but with these CME futures, what we have is sometimes we're going to get a gap in the market, and so it could be that we have this candle closing here, and then the next candle opens, say, $20 lower. Usually gaps like this are filled within markets, and even within the Bitcoin market, which is very scary because I believe there is a gap near 1300. Anyway, we won't talk about that. And if that is the case, and if we are going to fill it, we've already filled part of it on this move. If we are ready to fill the rest of that gap, that would mean we could see ourselves rising up to this 39.50 level. Now, another reason that I think this ascending triangle is so important, typically things like this, very short-term price patterns that don't really move the price by much, I don't like to cover these things. So when I do, there's a really good reason behind it. And in this case, that good reason is, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, we've been seeing a lot of ascending triangles lately. The deal is, with coins like Ethereum and various different crypto assets forming ascending triangles at the moment, what we have are similar patterns that are actually giving us follow through. What we're seeing is that patterns like ascending triangles are working really, really well in the market at the moment. They're having a much higher than usual chance, a much higher than usual number of times that these patterns have turned out to be correct and valid and broken us to the upside than it typically is. And when we have a situation like this, we're seeing characteristics of the trend repeating. Now, this particular characteristic is lots of ascending triangles forming and correctly breaking to the upside. So when we've got an environment like that, the chances that this particular ascending triangle can also break to the upside look better than usual. And of course, when we do factor in that we have this little area of support and various different other small bullish indicators like touching support over here and, you know, still having the daily EMA ribbon being on our side, it gives us a good image. We have things like the 50 moving average as well, I believe, that let us bounce up from here. It gives us a lot of good signs that we could be ready to break to the upside. Like I said, I think the most important one is that these ascending triangles have been really valuable lately, and so while they're valuable, we want to try and use them as much as it's possible. So that could mean we're ready to break to the upside. That would only mean going up to 39.50, and beyond that, you know, I'm not too sure how far the trend can actually go. This is really strong resistance, and I'm going to turn bearish at this level simply because it is resistant. It makes sense to be bearish at resistance levels. What a shock. And so I am potentially going to be looking to play it a little bit more cautiously at that level. There is a VIP trade which I'm looking to share very, very soon. I haven't finalized it, but this is one of the messages I got something like 2 weeks ago, just over a week ago, from one of our members who made a 50% profit, and the stop loss also lowered to break even. So this was amazing. I've been getting a lot of messages like this, and the deal is in VIP. What happens is I share every single trade I'm entering. I tell VIP members where I'm entering these trades, where my stop loss is, when I'm moving my stop loss, where I'm taking profit, and it is all to show you how I'm trading in real time. That's not it though, because what I'm also doing is sharing how our team trades. And so you're not only getting access to my trades, but the trades of our team. And you can see the testimonials daily. I mean, these are all different testimonials. I have too many to show you in videos. But this one in particular, the guy was trading, I believe, shorts on both of these. I can't remember. But this person was trading Bitcoin and Ethereum at the same time and made a beautiful 0.61 profit on Bitcoin and then 0.09 on Ethereum for a total profit in one day. I believe even in one evening, did he say? Yes, for an evening's work, making 0.7 Bitcoin. I mean, that is absolutely huge. And the deal is you don't really need such a huge balance to trade something like that. If you look at the kind of leverage that I'm using and different things like that, it's not crazy to get gains like that. This gain would have paid off the fee so many times. So if you do want to get access to VIP, if you want to see what it's about, what everyone's talking about when they're telling you that the VIP library content and everything else is amazing, hit up the first link in the description down below and then click on the @4flies. Click on that, shoot me a message, and we'll get you in the group. Now, I want to bring your attention over to Litecoin. It has been going absolutely haywire, and you guys know I've been watching Litecoin since before it broke out of previous resistance. I want to break down how it has been acting. It is a beautiful case study of TA working so well. What we had was a turning point over here, and then a bit of a cup and handle kind of formation. It's not really a cup and handle, but you know, this could be seen as a curving bottom or something like that. Now, I started telling you that my eyes were on Litecoin to break resistance over here right when we were trading at this level, and so we formed a bit of a bull flag at this level, and then we broke very strongly to the upside. It was a beautiful run. We did trade this a couple times, had some wins, also had some small losses, but it has been a very nice trend to watch out. A little bit frustrating at times. I want to break down what I'm seeing here. So first of all, a beautiful example of continuation patterns playing out. First of all, yes, we had the ending of this little, well, you know, I guess you could say the downtrend ended somewhere over here. We had a nice little rise up on Litecoin. We had brief pauses in the trend followed by massive moves up. Then, because we've had such a big move up, the next period was a lot longer in terms of cooling the trend off for Litecoin. This is something that I've been warning you about, where when we make big moves in a trend, we can have much longer periods of consolidation. And the deal is this one lasted for something like 27 days, nearly a month, and obviously with the kind of cocaine rushes that we get in crypto, 24 days here, with the kind of cocaine rushes we get in crypto, it's not easy to stay focused on something like this, and you know, I'm also guilty of that, because while I did expect Litecoin to end up breaking resistance, I wasn't even prepared for it. I just didn't think it would happen so soon, and actually it looked like it was forming some bearish patterns here. So I was really on the lookout for that. The good news is we did break out of this continuation pattern, which turned out to be just a typical bull flag or bullish wedge, whatever you want to call it. But we broke out of it with amazing volume as well. Volume has been ascending. We look at this volume moving average, this orange line. The volume moving average has been moving to the upside since we broke out, and that is a really good sign. It's an amazing sign of confirmation for Litecoin's trend, telling us that this wasn't some sort of fake rally. And I don't think anyone everyone is saying it's a fake rally anyway. The deal is, guys, since we broke this level, I showed you the Bittrex chart, and I was telling you that from this 0.01 BTC level, if we zoom out onto the daily, there is no resistance for Litecoin. You know, let's get a horizontal line over here and show you what I'm talking about. Beyond this line, I was telling you that the only resistance Litecoin has is at the 158 level. Let's drop another line over here. So it's already had more than a 40% move to the upside. So, wow, 50% move to the upside, although I may have drawn that wrong. A massive, massive gain. If you were trading that on leverage, that would have been, you know, the leverage I like to use as 10x leverage. 500% profit. I mean, this is, you know, something that's not even very easy to think about. Very, very nice gains there. You know, it wouldn't have been easy to stay in along from this level, obviously, because you have to live through all of this consolidation. But if you just had your eyes closed and a stop loss set so that you knew you were safe, it would have been a really, really nice ride. Now, obviously, this break to the upside has been met with a little bit of resistance, and it makes sense. We're seeing a little bit of trading action here. I was warning you that if we do reach this level, it's going to get a little bit difficult for Litecoin. I wouldn't be surprised if it completely tops out at this red line. It is an area of resistance, and at that, it is the only significant area of resistance that Litecoin had beyond this level. It's had a very nice rise, but these things do have to come to an end. So I think we're seeing a nice little pullback here. Now, what would be really nice is to see a retest of this 0.013 level, which is where it previously topped out. We look at these two peaks, this one over here and this one, roughly at the same price. Looking at the right hand side of 0.013 satoshis, it would be really, well, 0.013 bitcoin, not satoshis. That would be really small. You know, if it does fall down to this level, it would be a beautiful retest of old resistance turning into support. Now, with things like the volume already increasing on the upside, we're gonna have to switch back to the Binance chart now, because Bittrex is great for giving us a long-term view. Obviously, Bittrex has been around for longer than Binance, but it's also fallen off, and so it doesn't give you a very accurate reading of the charts. So that's why I only use it for the long term. However, seeing that we did have a beautiful break to the upside, I think that if we do end up testing this support, there is not really going to be any reason to get bearish. It would be a great opportunity to load up new long positions, and of course, if I do start trading that, and if I do set orders for that, I will be notifying VIP members exactly how I'm doing it and giving updates of my trades in real time. But if we do end up falling to this level, I think it would be a great opportunity to load up on new long positions and ride it back up to resistance. I don't think we're just going to hit it over here and then we're not going to return back. I think there's a pretty good chance that we could have at least some sort of bull flag consolidation pattern until we test the upper resistance, which would be 158. That's about, yeah, that's right here. I think that we still have a good chance of rising to this level, and so it is likely going to take some sort of consolidation, but it would be really fun to try and ride that up. Let's actually throw a Fibonacci on this chart as well. I haven't done this yet in my own analysis, so let's just see how it looks live. We have the, wow, okay, well, there you go. These analysis pieces just pretty much draw themselves at this point. We have the 382 Fibonacci level lining up amazingly with this same support level that I've just outlined for you. Like I said, I didn't look at this. It just so happens to be the case that all of these magic numbers come together and give us a beautiful little concoction of all the elements that we want to see. Fibonacci retracements, as you know, are, I think, one of the most reliable pieces of information in trading. They are so strong in terms of probability and magnetic to price action. If this turns out to be where we topped out, it would be amazing to see it drop down to this level, down to the 382 level, and the 618 level also happens to be our previous 382 support. So let me just draw this for you to the previous peak, the 382 support that we stuck to very strongly. We dropped below it and we were right back up into this range or above that range. The 382 level from before has become our current 618 support. It is amazing how these numbers play out. I mean, this has just got a massive smile on my face seeing stuff like this, seeing how the Fibonacci's line up with predefined levels. Really does string together the beautiful art of TA. I'm about to get emotional. I need a tissue box or something. Let's switch on the EMA ribbon and look at where the support is. Okay, so the deal is with this kind of a trend, like I said, we could end up forming a bull flag and we might not even go this low. Hang on, let's see what kind of a percent loss it would be if we do end up seeing this 0.13 level. That'd be 10% loss. I think that's fair. I think over the next kind of week, seeing a 2% loss every day could be fairly reasonable. And we could perhaps Bitcoin ends up going to 39.50. Or the flip side to that is this is Litecoin traded against Bitcoin, and this is really good because, as you know, I trade on BitMEX. There's a referral link in the description to give you a discount on fees. And because I trade on BitMEX, I can only trade Litecoin versus Bitcoin. And so if Bitcoin does start to fall, but Litecoin holds its USD value, it's going to increase against Bitcoin. And that could also mean it rises higher. But the deal is it's had a very nice little move to the upside, and Litecoin doesn't like to retrace very much. You can see on the previous trend, like I showed you with the Fibonacci, it only retraced by 38.2% of this overall move to the upside. It doesn't like to retrace very much, so it could be the case that it finds support in this in this EMA support, and it just continues on higher from there. Let's take a look at the Ichimoku. Okay, the 4 hour is very thin because we didn't have much trading action. 1 hour has not been very reliable, although we could find some support over here. I'm not gonna give that too much time though. And then we do have this Ichi support on the daily. This is probably the best bet, and I think that if we could end up trading sideways, well, there's really nothing that can happen now that wouldn't bring the Ichimoku support up to this 0.13 level. So this would take us into, okay, so this would be the first few weeks of April. So I don't think it's going to take that long, so we might not see this Ichimoku cloud. If I draw out how this would look, basically, anything could happen, but I think it's safe to expect that the Ichimoku cloud could look something a little bit like this. I don't think we're going to see prices kind of take that long to tumble into the Ichimoku resistance, support. Although it is Litecoin, and Litecoin moves out of sync with the rest of the market almost all the time. It always moves before the rest of the market or after the rest of the market. So it could very well be the case that this is going to be another month-long wait to see some interesting action on Litecoin. And you know what, after saying that, it does seem like it could be fairly likely. Now, the other thing with Litecoin I just mentioned is that Litecoin usually leads the market or delays or is delayed for the rest of the market. And the deal is, when it broke out over here, it was leading the rest of the market into moves to the upside. This was all called amazingly by myself and Don Alt on Twitter, so really happy with that, reveling in that amazing performance. And the deal is, if it's now moved to the upside while everything else looks like it has some decent chances of rising higher, well, this doesn't look great. But we switch over to things like the 4 hour. Let's take a look at the Ichi now. Okay, so we have, this is nothing, that's not even relevant. But like I said, we do have this ascending triangle support. We've tested support levels. Perhaps next logical level is to test resistance. With all of these factors coming together and Litecoin already leading the market, does it mean we can rise higher? I think that the chances look pretty nice. Now, of course, the flip side to that is there's still a lot of bearish signs, but I'm not going to cover those in this video. What I'm going to do is make a separate video either tomorrow or the day after, and that video will probably be uploaded to the Telegram channel only. So if you do want to get access to that, there's a lot of free exclusive content in the Gold channel. It's very easy to get in. Takes less than 30 seconds to sign up. There's no sign up process actually. It takes less than 30 seconds to get into Telegram. Click on the first link down below and join the free group there. Like I said, if you do want to get access to VIP, this is one of the messages I got from somebody who booked a 0.7 BTC profit, absolutely huge, in just one evening. Like I said, paying off the fee multiple times over. Really, really amazing performance there. Now, the last thing that I want to touch on is Binance Coin. It has been on an absolute rip to the ups. I mean, look at this. This is 2017 shit. Every time it moves higher, we replay the chart and it just looks like it can't go any higher. I mean, it already looks parabolic. You're looking at this chart and this has got to be a top out, but it's not, because CZ keeps on pumping it on Twitter. Paints a nice little bull flag. You think this is going to be a head and shoulders because it's got the shoulder there, the head over there, but no, it breaks to the upside. It forms yet another bull flag. People calling this to be a double top. Nope, a falling wedge. Another bull flag. It looks absolutely unstoppable. I don't even know I mean, look at this. Is insane. This is absolutely insane. What is the USD price actually? Let's just take a look at that. Okay, so oh wow, well, if it rises beyond $17, that's that's all time. We're talking about all-time highs. If it can break 17.6, we're talking about easily another 40% rise. If not, I don't think the all-time high is going to give it much grief. It's gonna be fun. That's all I'm gonna say. So you guys know I don't like to trade alts. I only trade on leverage from now on, but this is something that I might consider. Like I said, I don't know the fundamental reasons behind it. What I do know is that Binance is doing a bunch of amazing stuff. I'm actually on their press list now, so I'm getting access to some information before it goes public, and I will look to share that with you, obviously after I'm legally allowed to do so, and give you regular updates on what Binance is doing. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm in Malta right now. This is obviously where Binance is being set up, so very, very excited to see how all of this could play out. With that, I really hope you have enjoyed this video. I've covered a lot for you, and I hope that it has given you some extra light on what the market has been doing. It has been an absolute pleasure. Yesterday's video, I mentioned that there is a tweet for you to retweet if you want to get free access to VIP. So it's a giveaway. Go back to yesterday's video if you haven't already seen it, and in the pinned comment, you're going to see a link to that tweet. You click on that, retweet, follow, like, you will be entered to get a free chance at having a VIP membership. I'm going to leave the link to that tweet in the first comment of this video as well. Have a great day.